Today, we are going to see how 13,000 exhausted Romans faced an army an ancient source claimed was 35,000 strong. How Rome's cavalry collapsed at the worst possible moment. How Alamannic warriors broke into the Roman formation, and how a battle that looked lost became one of Julian's greatest victories. The decisive moment was not a perfect charge, it was what happened after the Roman plan began to fail. Near Strasbourg, in 357 AD, two armies prepared to settle the future of Roman Gaul. On one side stood Caesar Julian. He had arrived in Gaul as an unlikely commander, better known for philosophy than warfare, but civil war had weakened the Rhine frontier, forts had been abandoned, and Germanic warbands had pushed deep into imperial territory. In only 2 campaigns, Julian had begun to reverse that collapse. Now his wider campaign had gone wrong. A second Roman force under Barbatio had withdrawn, leaving Julian with roughly 13,000 men. Across the field waited the Alamanni, a coalition led by King Chnodemar. Ammianus Marcellinus claims they numbered 35,000. Modern historians dispute that figure, but there is little doubt that Julian was outnumbered. He was also fighting with tired men. The approach had been long, the day was hot, and Julian wanted to delay until morning. His soldiers demanded battle instead. So the smaller army advanced. Julian's real advantage was not numbers, it was depth. Roman infantry stood in successive bodies, leaving fresh troops behind the front. Most of the cavalry guarded the right. The experienced Severus held the left, watching ground that appeared suitable for an ambush. Chnodemar had prepared for Roman strengths. His infantry gathered in dense wedges, concentrating men against narrow points. Opposite the Roman cavalry, he mixed light infantry among his horsemen. While mounted warriors fixed the Romans in place, men on foot could strike at their horses from below. The distance closed. Javelins crossed the field, shields locked, then the two armies collided. At first, the Roman infantry held and even forced parts of the Alamannic line backwards, but on the Roman right, Chnodemar's trap worked. A cavalry commander was wounded, an armored horse fell beneath its rider, order vanished, and Roman horsemen turned away from the fight. They fled directly towards their own infantry. This could have destroyed the army. A mass of frightened horses crashing into the Roman line might have opened it before the Alamanni arrived, but the infantry did not move. The riders passed behind the formation, where Julian met them, restored order, and drove them back towards the battle. The first collapse had been contained. Now Chnodemar attacked the center. His nobles and strongest warriors drove forward in a compact mass. They forced open the Roman front and pushed into the formation. For a moment, the breakthrough seemed decisive. But the front line was not the whole army. Deeper in the center stood the Pramani, veteran Roman infantry packed tightly together. The Alamannic advance struck them and stopped. That pause changed the battle. A wedge is dangerous while it is moving. Once halted, the men at its point lose their momentum, while those behind continue pressing into the same confined space. Its sides become exposed, space disappears, strength becomes congestion. The Romans closed on those exposed edges. More Alamannic warriors entered the gap, but the gap had become a trap. Every man sent forward made retreat more difficult. The breakthrough had pierced the Roman front without breaking the Roman army. And now the cavalry returned. Across the field, local resistance began to collapse. One group gave way, then another. What had been an organized assault became a race towards the Rhine. Roman infantry and cavalry pursued. Some fugitives were cut down before reaching the river. Others entered the water and were overcome by exhaustion, equipment, or the current. Julian stopped his own men from following them into the Rhine and risking a victory already won. Chnodemar also tried to escape. His horse stumbled in marshy ground near the river. recognized and surrounded, the king surrendered with his remaining attendants. Ammianus records 6,000 Alamanni dead on the field, with more lost in the river. He gives Roman losses as 243 soldiers and 4 senior officers. Those ancient figures deserve caution, just like his estimate of the Alamannic army. But the result is not in doubt. Julian had defeated a larger force and captured its king. Rome survived a cavalry rout and a penetration of its center, because failure in one part of the army did not become failure everywhere. Strasbourg was not a victory without mistakes. It was a victory won by an army built to survive them. So what mattered more, Julian's leadership, or the Roman system waiting behind him? Tell us what you think in the comments, and subscribe for the next reconstructed battle.